Hey everyone, this is Wei and welcome back. Let's do a drawing of this awesome looking lion. So let's get started and I'll talk about the process along the way. Alright, so let's draw this lion. First of all, I'm just gonna, let's just rough in the eyes. I'm not gonna draw too big. And let's see, alright. I guess with the eyes is relatively simple because it's not like a human eye. Just kind of darker around and then the pupil in the middle. So I'll talk about this image as well. Just let me rough in some of these features and get started. Okay, let's going down. Let's see to the nose. So good thing about drawing animals is that, you know, even if you're off, it's still gonna look like a lion, so it's okay. It's not like drawing a human face. Alright, let's see. Let's just rough in some of this so we can get to the fun part, which is the shading of the fur. And yeah, alright. So this image, this lion image is, the reason I chose this image is because it does have pretty more dramatic lighting. You see the lighting is from the side, and then you have the Terminator in the middle, and everything else is in the shade. And these are the kind of images that you kind of want when you're drawing animals because it's just a lot more interesting. It's like if you just end up doing like finding an image where it's just kind of flat, generic lighting, you're gonna have to draw both sides, and it's gonna be very similar because obviously things are symmetrical for the most part. So you end up repeating stuff, and it's just really boring. I don't know about you, but it's like I hate repeating elements in drawing. It's no fun and it's not interesting to look at. So right now I'm just gonna rough in this little Terminator area right here, and we can draw in the little fur elements later. Just kind of rough in. I just want to get in the this general shading, and it'll also give me some more reference points to work from. And then we'll start doing the fur. Here's darker. So I know it's gonna go darker because everything on this side is gonna go into the shade. All right, so let's rough in a little bit more right here so we can progress this further, because the shadow area does depend on the shape right here, the face. So we do kind of need to get that. All right, so let's see the mane. I'm just gonna call it hair. Might be so technical with these things. All right. Let's see. All right, sketching. Keep going. Oh, it kind of looks like a monkey, but you'll get there. Don't worry. Let's see. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna put this. Well, let's do the ear a little bit too. This is kind of a major feature. So the ears right here, and this is gonna be darker in here. So I'm gonna shade. All right, let's just. All right, I'm just gonna put this whole side into the shade, so we could distinguish, the light source, and this will give it a lot more interesting. It'll be a lot more interesting to look at. This part's gonna be cool. It's like once you start shading the hair right here, this whole thing's gonna pop out, which is gonna be really nice. So okay, now that we have this a little bit darker, well, we can also, let's just push it a little bit. So I am using a 6B, so it's relatively soft, and well, it's very soft, and it'll be nice and quick in terms of shading. So I'm gonna get these hard areas. I'm just gonna push right into it, into my pencil. It's gonna be pretty hard. Turning my edge if I need a sharper edge. So here is the Terminator, so we gotta be a little bit more accurate right here. Get the shadow in. So this is where the light, if you guys are not too familiar with these terminologies, but the Terminator is basically where the light, it's falling off and it's dying. So there's not, you know, this is the area where it no longer catches anymore the light from the side. So it's always, you know, drops off to not completely darkness, because there's, you know, bounce lighting from everywhere. So that's why, you know, there's light on even on this side of the face, right in the shade, because of bounce lighting. All right, so let's keep going. So let's see the eyes right here. This is a really cool spot right here. All right, let me see. All right, so I'm drawing relatively small. And the good thing about drawing small is that, you know, you're able to shade quicker, and, you know, it's not as daunting if you do like a really big drawing. You know, it's just like so much shading to do. So when it's small like that, you know, you kind of let your strokes take over a little bit. See, like it's like I'm taking just kind of pushing in, and it shades it. You know, it gives it some texture, it gives it some direction and fur, so it works great, you know. And if you're having problem with drawing, try to draw small and just do a bunch of quick small shadings and drawings and see how that looks, because, you know, because shading it is difficult. It's, you know, it's difficult, obviously more difficult than line drawing. So if you're not that good at shading and you try to do something big, it becomes very daunting. It's just, you know, it's like you're struggling the whole way through. So if you are struggling with that, I would suggest try doing it smaller, and then see how that goes. See if indeed it is your shading that is giving you problems. All right, so here is the Terminator right here. So I'm gonna clean it up a little bit. So I give that, you know, nice dark edge. So this 6B is really good for this kind of stuff. So here too, there's Terminators here, but it's white. You know, because the fur right here is white, but there is still a Terminator, so we kind of have to get that in, or else we're gonna lose the realism, you know, the effect of the lighting. All right, so this part right here is really dark. I'm turning my pencil, just kind of dig right in, very sharp, right underneath the nose, and goes all the way into the nostrils. And then this part is dark here, so there's a nice separation. Okay, so you notice when I drew this line here, I didn't just do a line. I kind of went like this, you know, kind of. It mixes it up a little bit, but also gives like this fur effect, you know, as if there's fur growing around it. And so it's kind of like doing two things with one stroke, you know, accomplishing two things with one stroke. All right, I hope my throat is able to hold out. Do get some allergies. All right, so I'm shading this down, then here. All right, so see, now you can kind of feel it a little bit, right? You can feel. Should I move here? Here. All right, let's go back here first. I do like to work on the left side since I'm right-handed, so I can see what I've done. So right here is gonna be the mane here, the hair. So this stuff might take a little bit longer to shade because it's so much broader, you know. Because it's so. Good thing that I've drawn this kind of small, so hopefully I'm gonna be able to do most of this on screen. So here, the direction, try to follow the direction of the fur. It definitely helps. And then this part is darker here. And then this, I'll go this direction just so that I can give some of that, sorry about that. Give this direction right here, so I give that kind of like hair coming off this way. So the direction of the fur is important too. You know, just keep in mind of where the fur is going and try to follow that kind of direction. So it's like here the ear is going outwards, so I'm gonna do that just as a start, and then we can go in and clean it up a little bit. You know, mix it up a little bit. So the hair's going this way. But this part is dark here because it looks like it's got a little styling on the mane right here, the hair. So this comes forward, so we make this a little bit darker on the back, and that will automatically pop this little strand out. All right, so I'm gonna make this a little bit darker. So as I go, I'm seeing more and more, you know, distinctions in the shading, like more and more little subtleties, and that's the whole process, you know. You might not see that at the beginning, but it'll come to you if you keep shading, and if you get it correct, you're gonna see all those little things. So there's a lot of little stuff going on up here, you know, so let's just skip that for now. I don't want to go too much into the furry stuff, because you can spend a lot of time doing this. And all right, so let's just redefine this area a little bit more. This is a little bit darker, so I'm going to cross hatch right here. Okay, so this right here cannot be white because it's going to be white right here because this is still in the shade. So it's an important distinction when we start doing the other side, because if both of them are white, then, you know, we automatically see that, hey, that's not correct, right? It just doesn't feel right. They can't be both bright white. All right, let's go. Now let's do a little bit of this side. Here we have to be a little bit more delicate with the fur because, you know, it's not in the shade as much. So this is in the shade, this is white here. This is a very important area actually. It will really pop out the eye and give this whole thing its form and structure. So we got to pay a little bit more attention to that, and then let's see, we can start shading some of the fur here. All right, let's see, this is darker here. Now this is one bright area right here. So let's just try to keep that in the shading. So this is actually this is the fun area, because this, if I do this correctly, you know, this is you know, see this whole side of the face just jump right out because it's in the, because the light is hitting it. So if I can create that bright light effect, it'll be really cool. All right, so let's go down. This is white here. There's a lot of little hair on the, you know, what do you call it, whiskers, right? I'm gonna ignore that for now because I think I'll probably have to do that with electronic eraser. This is a little bit too fine to try to keep the paper white on it. All right, so let's see, the hair comes out. Let's see, let's check the camera. Ear, pretty much the same as the other one. So the main, all right, I'm not too crazy about the direction of this, it's rather boring, so I can always change the shape a little bit. All right, so let's come down here, because let's pop up this chin area, which is really nice. So again, it's white, right? But there is a Terminator, which is right around here, and it gets kind of lost with the hair, the strands. But there is a Terminator right around there, so we can highlight that, and then we can shade this a little bit darker. Okay, so this side's a little bit darker, and now we can checking the values. This is a little bit too light now. Okay, because this is and then this is super dark. It's like 3 levels, right? You have this, this, and this, and that's what gives it depth. So it's important to, you know, if you just focus in this area right now, there needs to be a distinction from here to here to here. So that's what I'm looking at right now. So if you can get that, then you get the right forms, and it'll, you know, the shape will pop up. All right, so let's do the bottom here. Again, I'm trying to shade in the direction of the fur. So this is dark, so I'm gonna shade this dark, and there's the edge again. We gotta play with that a little bit. We gotta make this dark or else the chin won't pop up. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so now you can see that chin a little bit better. And here is like super dark and white. This is a cool area right here if I can get this right. So this area depends on, this dark area to bring it out. So it might be a little slow if you're looking at the progress, but you kind of have to draw in some of this hair first. If not, then this area, this white area will never pop out. All right. But it's getting there, right? You can kind of see it. Okay, so I'm shading that. Let's work the mouth a little bit because it's way too light right now. Just need more. All right, let's see. I'm gonna cross hatch a little bit just so I can get a little bit more even shading and give it, some more fullness to this. I don't want to keep doing it in one direction. It's gonna, it'll give the drawing too much of a, directional force. You feel like it's flying off the paper, right? if everything's in one direction. Actually, I do want to do a drawing like that because it's kind of a stylized way to do it. One of my old art directors in the company did that, and it's really cool drawings. That's one of the things I really want to do and kind of show you. His style, his awesome drawing style. All right, so let's see how is it? I'm looking at the camera right now. So, all right, you're starting to feel it, right? I mean, it's just it feels like the forms are coming through. Now these small areas right here, it's just a matter of me going in and more this shadow shading so I can get this area right here correct. So I'll push it further, obviously, and see how it turns out. Alright, I'm back, and here's the final drawing for this lion. Most of it was shown on screen. Off camera, I kind of just went in with the electric eraser and gave in some of these little whiskers and hairs and kind of darkened up some of the areas, but very little, just little final touches. Now, a couple of things I do want to talk about, which is really important, is the shadings for this kind of stuff, like right here and here, where it pops up the the whole mouth area, because you really need that in order for this area to come out. And then another point is obviously the side lighting, because we're lighting from the side. The Terminator here is really important because this is what's going to give it form. So after I was done, I kind of looked over it and just kind of retouched this area a little bit, so that to make sure that I have these dark areas coming all the way down to the face right here, so that there's a separation between this, and this is really important. So once you have this separation, then this can be a little bit off and it really doesn't matter as much. But without this, the whole face is gonna be relatively flat. So that's one thing to keep in mind whenever you have side lighting, is where the Terminators are. And other than that, it's just a lot of little hair drawings, and I think it's I'm not gonna push it anymore because it could get a little bit crazy. So, wildlife is actually a lot of fun. I also almost forgot how much fun it is to sketch like this, these little furry surfaces and things like that. and obviously the musculature of a lion is very powerful, so we gotta try to keep that, you know, sense of the power by shading in a lot of these shapes to make it feel, you know, like a lion. So anyway, I'll talk about more the musculature stuff of things like this in the future, but for now this is it. I think this is a really fun drawing, so give it a shot, see how it goes, and I will see you next time.